When you look more closely, you see that there are sort of rivers and flows of galaxies. There are voids where there are fewer galaxies and areas where the distribution of galaxies is more dense. And that is indeed telling us something about the formation of the galaxies, the processes that seeded the distribution of galaxies in the sky. And that's telling us something about events that happened very much closer to the origin of the universe when there were no galaxies. And again, I think Martin Rees will talk about that distribution a little bit later on. But I think the overwhelming sense that I certainly get from looking at visualizations like this is that the universe is big. The current estimate for the number of galaxies, large and small, in the observable part of the universe is around 2 trillion. And it seems to increase every few years when more data comes in. But if you think about even the observable piece of the universe containing 2 trillion galaxies, I think the ambition of cosmology becomes clear, the ambition to understand where all that came from and how those structures emerged in the universe is a tremendous one. So what are we to make of our position? As I said at the start, I think cosmology is a philosophically challenging science because it challenges us to think about our place in the universe. One thing we can say is, notwithstanding the size and scale of the universe, the Earth currently is a special place, albeit physically insignificant, because it's the only place we know of in the universe that supports life. Now, we strongly suspect that it will not be the only place in a typical galaxy like the Milky Way to support life. But what do we know about the possibility that civilizations themselves are rare? What do we know about the distribution of civilizations? Places where, as Richard Feynman said, atoms can contemplate atoms in the universe. Feynman actually, I brought a few books along. I just thought let me just read. I wasn't going to do this, but Feynman wrote a beautiful poem about that idea. Feynman wasn't a known poet, although a great physicist. But I rather like this. He's talking about the emergence of life onto the land and the emergence of a civilization. He says, "Out of the cradle onto dry land, here it is standing. Atoms with consciousness, matter with curiosity. Stands at the sea, wonders at wondering. I, a universe of atoms, an atom in the universe." He's powerfully, I think, drawing attention to this strange natural phenomena that we are, which is atoms that can contemplate atoms, structures that operate according to the laws of nature and yet can think about our place in the universe.